Who? Billy and Kami. Oh dear, I don't want him to deal with the commies. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another comically long review. First of all, I hope you'll excuse the temporary uniform. Professor McFlyzer said something about quarterly maintenance or something, and when I tried to tell him that I had a video to film, he started talking about squirrels and dogs and the position of the moon, so just never mind. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 42 ended on a theme of upcoming confrontation. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were about to face off with Dane, while the Omega Rangers had just been called out by Queen Adriyel. Let's see how those throwdowns go down by taking a look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 43. Well, I previously praised my unnamed scans provider for having the comics up on the same day, but today that was not the case. It's fine, I have the comic of course, just found it interesting. As per the usual, there's no Comic Vine or Ranger Wiki pages, so here are the 4 covers that Atomic Empire has access to. The main cover is a striking glimpse at what's to come, an MMPR team that's had the grid beaten out of them, laying against rubble, with the shadow of Dane looming. The trading card cover is the Blue Ranger, and in this case we can definitively say that's Billy, since he was the only MMPR Blue Ranger. So we'll stick with Billy for the foil helmet cover as well. As for the album cover, I've never heard of this one. Maybe it's indie. No, there's a 4th cover listed for this issue, but Atomic Empire didn't have an image. I checked, and Morphin Legacy posted the catalog page that shows MMPR 43, and it only features 3 covers. So no idea if this cover actually exists or what the album cover was. If I remember, I'll come back to this. 2 of our covers focused on Billy, good to start with him in the story. And is Ryan Parrott throwing some shade at himself? The caption says, Earth, now. Like we have to specify that this comic is starting today and not 10,000 years and 47 days ago. Billy is reporting to Zordon about the battle with Dane and how unprepared they were. Dane leapt directly at the Rangers as the fight started and put his plan into practice right away. First, he neutralized the long-range fighter, Kimberly, by breaking her hand by stomping on it.
Bugger my britches, that was uncalled for.
To be honest, Rocky gets a pretty basic neutralization that doesn't really seem to factor in his specific traits, as Dane just throws some goo on his visor so he can't see. Adam leaps at him, but he sidestep dodges and releases some mechanical bugs that start stinging Adam, taking care of him. Aisha decides that Adam just didn't leap at Dane with the right level of enthusiasm, trying it herself. She tries to make this sneaky, the small font showing that she was speaking quietly, but Dane hears that anyway because he's a dog and plants a foot in her stomach. The 3 veteran Rangers decide that Beta 6 would be ridiculous, but maybe we should try Beta 5 this time. I was thinking more Zeta 27, but then again, I'm not a Power Ranger, am I? Being honest, Beta 5 seems to be the exact same move that Beta 6 is, Billy and Kim leaping at Dane to get his attention and Tommy charging straight up the middle. But this is exactly what Dane wanted, teleporting himself and Tommy away. All through that sequence was Billy describing how Dane picked them apart and apologizing for not being prepared. Zordon says that the fault was his because he knows exactly who this is. The comics seem to continue this strange tendency of Zordon's, an annoying tendency at that, to withhold information from the Rangers until just after they need it. Seriously, you get the feeling that Zordon just needs to book the Rangers for an entire day and just tell them about every threat in the universe that he is aware of. Would they be insanely scared by this? Absolutely. But at least they'd be ready. Zordon calls Dane Lord Zedd's assassin and describes how he takes a perverse pleasure in personalizing every attack. He only engages on his terms. Tommy fires a blast with Saba, which Dane of course is prepared for with a shield. He slashes Tommy hard, knocking him out, but flees as the other Rangers teleport in. We then see that Tommy is out of commission, unconscious on a command center bed. Back on Breel, Queen Adriyel tells the Rangers her spies spotted them right away, but she allowed them to come in since she has unfinished business with them. Zack thinks that they're going to have to fight their way out, and Jason hears him and responds. In his mind. That's right, Breel may not have been able to change their colors around, but that whole mind-blinking thing is still happening. Wonder if this is something that happens to everyone who sets foot on the planet, or if it's just humans. Jason tells the team to stay quiet. She may just be bluffing, but maybe she can read their minds, as she says if they think she's lying about knowing that they're there, she also knows that they have a ship in orbit, and they better show themselves or that ship is toast. The jig is up, so Trini calls G11 out loud and tells it to get out of there. Kaya thinks it's too late and tells Jason to call it. The Rangers morph, all at once this time, and immediately summon their Omega weapons. The art makes it a little unclear and we don't get good looks at everything, but Jason fittingly has a katana. Zack has nunchucks that have blades on the ends. I'm sure those things have a name, but I don't know what it is. Kaya has a trident staff, and most amusingly of all, Trini has gone from light, agile daggers to a friggin' sledgehammer. Sorry, I just couldn't choose between those two. The Rangers realize that they are utterly surrounded, so they basically swing like crazy people and clear themselves some room. Trini is on the same wavelength as me, actually missing her light little daggers, while Zack tries not to think about Adriyel being hot. Bit of Captain Kirk in that guy. He likes those green-skinned girls. Jason makes it over to Adriyel, leaping at her, but she slashes him away. She notices that these aren't the same Rangers, which she finds a pity because she wanted a rematch with them, but decides to destroy their ship anyway. She snaps, but nothing happens. She screams for Kavadis, the name she screamed before, and storms off, whining. Trini tells Kaya to go check on Jason while she and Zack go after Adriyel. And is Trini a little bit jealous of Zack being attracted to Adriyel? Jason's head went all bouncy ball on the wall after Adriel's attack, but he's okay. He thinks about how he hasn't been hit that hard since he fought Lord Draken, and since they're on Breel and their minds are linked, Kaya gets to share in that memory. I've never really set up a scene in the comics by doing a live cutaway before it, but I feel like this scene deserved a little bit of setup. Power Rangers has a trope that a lot of people have called out. You see it covered by a couple different names over on TV Tropes: Bond villain stupidity, fair play villain, why don't you just shoot him, etc. It's that sort of second act situation where a villain has defeated the Rangers but allows them to live. It's not unexpected to see that tool used here in the comics. It's a tried and true storytelling tool. But as it has with pretty much every other aspect of the franchise, it was on the comic to lend a sense of maturity and thought out explanation to this, not just using the same ha 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 ha, stew in your failure and defeat, Power Rangers. So indeed, on the moon, Lord Zedd can't believe that Tommy was all but dead in front of Dane, but he didn't finish him or any of the other Rangers off. So, which of the tropes does he use to explain this? Sort of Bond villain, but again, this does make a lot more sense. Dane asks Zedd what would happen if he just killed off the entire team of Power Rangers. Zedd says that Zordon would find new ones. So instead, Dane has broken their leader and let the Rangers take him back home, utterly defeated, and okay, yes, to stew in their failure for a bit. Next, they're going to take out the Zords and leave the team just broken enough that one of the Rangers will crack, giving them a means to go in and take out Zordon. It's a very cut the head off the snake plan. Zedd asks how Dane knows that this is all going to go according to his plan, and he doesn't really answer that. Because you can't dig your way out of the grave without burying someone else's. Okay. Anyway, Zedd says if this all happens, he will double Dane's pay. And Dane is apparently way past feeling that he should give Zedd a discount, saying no, he's gonna triple it. In presumably Angel Grove Park, although it really looks so much like Central Park that it may very well be Central Park in New York, Dane teleports in and squeezes something that's clearly not a growth grenade, getting big and howling at the sky. Back over on Breel, Adriyel storms into the back chamber, telling her guards to kill anyone who follows. She finds someone in the back room and asks why they keep refusing her commands. This is Kavadis, a rather scrawny-looking Kedri chained to a throne. Kavadis begs the queen to not force him to kill anyone else. She's not fazed, saying they have enemies inside their gates and he needs to act now. She electrifies him, ordering him to call forth his energies and charge the weapon. That's when Zack and Trini bust in, and to be honest, at first I thought this was a coloring error. It looked like the Black Ranger had the hammer. But Zack is back there, and you can see that his suit is black on black. It's just that the Omega Ranger suits are mostly black, and Trini is turned in a way where the yellow on her suit is minimized.
Get on with it!
Monty Python's Get On With It once a video, or I don't know. Moving on, Trini gets face to face with Adriyel and she realizes that these are the Rangers she fought before. New suits, same goal. Trini offers a peaceful solution, surrender the empowered and she can keep her throne. Of course, Adriyel doesn't go for this, offering a darker response that's half excuse and half how it might really seem to her. She says that every time the Kedri try to rise to power, here come the Power Rangers to beat them back down. Kaya and Jason catch up, and Adriyel launches into a big villain speech. Her grand plan to collect the empowered and take over the entire universe, taking the Kedri from slave race to rulers of everything. And then Kavadis comes up behind her, using his chains to snap her friggin' neck. She falls dead, and he begs them to just make it all stop, to take away the curse of being empowered. G11 gets through to the Rangers, and he reports that all of the villains have cleared out, and the energy spikes have stopped. Jason reports that they've found the empowered, and once they get back to the ship, they can destroy the entire temple from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
Kavadis tells the Rangers that Adriyel said the Kedri were free, but he has always been a prisoner. He was a simple royal blacksmith, but when Adriyel realized he was empowered, she killed his entire family and locked him in the temple. He asked the Rangers what happens now, even if he will be eaten, but Trini says they are taking him somewhere safe. Jason checks on Kaya, who has been quiet since they got back. She says she's fine, just getting used to not hearing their thoughts, but clearly she's been impacted by the memories she saw from Jason. At the command cube, the blue emissary tells the Rangers that Kavadis will be confined to a dumpster. They argue against this. He's not dangerous, he was being forced to kill. But the emissary doesn't see it that way, saying he's the one who actually did the killing, and he is a weapon created by the grid that needs to be contained not only for their safety, but his. Kavadis says that he didn't want to kill anyone, even Adriyel, but when he heard her plan, he knew that he only had one choice. The emissary says the Rangers' hearts are in the right place, but after all of his killing and that much power, Kaya interjects that she's killed. She killed her entire family while they slept. If the rules say an empowered that is killed has to be contained, she should be contained as well. The emissary says that she was a different case. There was no intent with her. It was tragedy, not murder. The emissary's word stands. Kavadis will be contained. Trini says it's not fair, but the emissary asks them to trust him just as he has trusted them. Later, Trini walks on the beach listening to a voicemail on her phone from Kim. Trini hasn't been answering her texts, so she's calling. She basically spills out all of her emotions, the Rangers fighting the feeling that the three abandoned them, but that doesn't matter right now. Tommy is badly hurt, and now Dayne is giant out there, and they are about to go fight. Basically, Kim is calling Trini because she doesn't know if they're going to get out of this. She's scared and admits things are not the same without the three of them around. As the Rangers form the Thunder Megazord, Kim tries to be brave, saying she's being dumb, everything's gonna be fine. As Dayne knocks the Megazord down, Kim says she misses her friends, and just wanted that to be said in case. Kim asks for a call back as soon as possible, as Dayne stabs into the Megazord's chest. Wow! Just, whoo, right? This is a strong emotional issue with a number of twists and turns. Unlike my prediction after Mighty Morphin 42, this is another issue that focuses primarily on the Omega Rangers, just checking in on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers every now and then. The thing is here, every time they did, it was a strong emotional note, with a powerful note of despair, as the Rangers face an enemy that they're not sure they can beat. I will say that the Breel story ends a bit abruptly, just in a snap. Not of a finger, but of a neck. And that's especially disappointing for Queen Adriyel herself, who I feel like could have been a really interesting villain, a Rancic-like figure who felt like they had a justification for their actions when in reality they were just power-hungry. It just seems kind of weird for them to have resurrected Adriyel and then write her off so quickly. But overall, a great issue with powerful emotion. A dark time for both teams with concerns about what comes next. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 43 gets a 4.5 out of 5. Next time on a comically long review, we'll see how Jason and the Blue Emissary start building the team that we saw today in my review of Go-Go Power Rangers issue number 24. That is going to do it for another comically long review. Heroes, thank you so much as always for watching. Down in the comments below, let me know what you thought of this issue and of my review of it. I'm going to ask you kind of the same question I think I asked last time, but just with another issue to inform it. How are you feeling about the balance between the Omega Rangers story and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story? I guess to make this question different, I'll ask in this specific issue, were you okay with that kind of balance? Or do you feel like it may be, again, over-focused on the Omega Rangers a little bit? I feel like we have this story structure with these comics right now where it's like we start with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, get this long story in the middle about the Omega Rangers, and then end with a little note on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Is that good or is that bad? I don't really know yet, but just let me know what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell. Get your notifications set up so you'll be notified of whenever I post brand new videos like these comically long reviews. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel, you can head over to ko-fi.com/orangerangervideos and buy me a coffee. I remembered to do it beforehand this time. Coffees cost, set it down, $3, and I greatly appreciate any financial support I find at that site. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Dayne leapt directly. Yep, Breel may not have been able to. The jig is up, so Trini calls. Sorry, I just couldn't choose, but. Jason's head went bouncy ball after Adriyel. But then lets them live with some kind of ha 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 stew in your despair or something mindset.